Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. You know how we always hear about Columbus and those three ships of his right? The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. It's like this big mythical thing we all learned about in school, sailing across the Atlantic, discovering America. Well, today we're going to be diving into all that. And what if I told you there's a chance Columbus wasn't actually the first person to cross the Atlantic?
Yeah, buckle up.
Because today we're going deep on early transatlantic voyages. We're talking about some serious evidence that could totally change how we see history. I mean, just imagine European explorers setting foot in America way before Columbus even set sail.
It does sound pretty wild, right? But the evidence is really fascinating, and there's more and more of it all the time that suggests exactly that. Have you ever heard about the Vikings? And I don't just mean the stereotypes of big, strong warriors with the horned helmets.
Yeah.
I'm talking about incredible explorers and shipbuilders. They were seriously skilled navigators, sailing crazy distances.
Okay, so Vikings, I get it. I'm picturing those long ships and those epic adventures they had. But how do we actually know they made it all the way to America?
So it's all about the archaeology. Up in Newfoundland, which is in Canada, there's this place called Lanceau Meadows. And what they found there wasn't just a couple random artifacts. It was the remains of an entire Viking settlement. And get this, it dates back to around 1000 AD.
You're saying 500 years before Columbus?
Way before. And this discovery totally blew up that whole Columbus was first idea.
Wow, that's incredible. You were saying earlier how the Vikings were such amazing navigators. How do they do it? What made them so good at sailing?
So they use this technique called dead reckoning.
Oh.
Basically, they use the stars, the sun and wind patterns, wave patterns, all that to figure out where they were and where they were going. And then they had these amazing ships, the long ships. They were built for both speed and maneuvering. Open ocean, shallow waters. It didn't matter. They were ready.
So we've got Vikings hanging out in Newfoundland 500 years before Columbus. Are there any other contenders for who got here first?
Oh, yeah. It gets even more interesting. There's actually a theory about early contact between South America and, get this.
Polynesia?
Wait, Polynesia. You mean the islands in the Pacific Ocean. We're talking thousands of miles of open ocean. I know, right? It's a long way. And the Polynesian navigators were known for being amazing sailors, the best. They could navigate the entire Pacific Ocean. And there's a theory that maybe they followed ocean currents and bird migration patterns eastward all the way to the Americas.
So you're saying there's a chance Polynesians were here even before the Vikings? That's incredible. If that's true, it changes everything.
Right. I mean, we don't have all the answers yet.
Right.
But it's definitely something that researchers are looking into.
This is all mind-blowing stuff we're talking about today. But I want to know, why should anyone listening to us talking right now care if Columbus wasn't the first?
That's a really good question. It's important to question what we've always believed. We learned this one story about Columbus in school, but what about all the other stories?
So it's about keeping an open mind about history.
Exactly. History isn't just one simple story. It's about looking at things from different points of view and realizing that there's a lot we don't know.
I like that. It's not just a straight line. It's more like a web.
Exactly. And when we learn about these other explorers and these other voyages, it's not about taking anything away from Columbus. It's about recognizing everyone, all these different cultures and their skills and how they all fit together.
So the next time we all see a picture of Columbus or hear someone talking about Columbus Day, it's a good reminder to think a little deeper. What other stories are out there? History is definitely a lot more complicated than we think.
Absolutely.
Make sure to check out the links in our YouTube outro for more information about all this. And until next time, keep exploring.